to the Moor Culture Podcast. I am your host, Brother Tashan Edwards Bay, and we're having a great episode this Thursday night with our special guest, student minister, Brother Robert Muhammad of Muhammad's Mosque number 35. And this is our 9th episode. In Supreme Mathematics, that is the born episode. So we're going to have a great time. I already know. Let's bring forth and born great knowledge for anybody listening and for everybody here in the cipher, please. Islam. So before I go too much further, I just want to greet everybody that is watching and tuning in with peace, Islam, Assalamu alaikum, Allah fiyah, Ayonio, Rahu Bat, and any other greetings you may like. We don't hate anybody. We're here for peace and love. Brother Muhammad, welcome. Any greetings you have for the people?
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Thank you all, brothers, for allowing us to be on your platform, and we pray that what is shared tonight would just elevate the minds of our people and the listening audience. So I'm very appreciative and thankful for this opportunity. Thank you, brothers.
All is ours.
That's peace. We are grateful that you're here. Let's get right into it. I mean, the topic of the day, because we are a blended group of Muslims, of Islamic students. We're blended, right? We're part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but also you're here from the representing Nation of Islam. And we've done things together, and it's imperative that we highlight that, because a lot of people, in other channels and other places around, you see a lot of the infighting, or I call it outfighting because of different organizations, but you see the fighting, and we want to make it known that so much more is done when we unify. So I want to highlight some of the things you have going on at Muhammad Mosque number 35, and also, hearing, a little bit about how you've interacted with the Moorish Science Temple of America with some upliftment acts. So, please, first introduce yourself and tell me, what brought you to this point in your journey right now.
Yes, sir. I am a student minister, Robert Muhammad. I'm the student minister of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan here at Mosque number 35 and 2800 Washington Street in Wilmington, Delaware. We've been at that location for approximately 20 years now. And what is our mission? It is the work of the resurrection of the dead.
Islam.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that my mission is to give life to the dead. And that is our sole purpose, to deliver our people and ultimately all of humanity from the sting of death. And through teaching and training and the revelation that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad received from Master Farrakhan Muhammad, which Minister Farrakhan is the chief exponent of that message. This is what we're teaching our people and gathering our people so that we may be as one. And we're doing our work, working with our Moorish Science brothers and sisters. We have always had a cordial relationship.
That's right.
And whenever they have come, we have allowed to share the rostrum with our brothers and sisters, and it's been a beautiful thing. And see, one of the ultimate aim of this government, unfortunately, is the denial objective of allowing our people to unite. You see, and because if we were to do that, it is a weapon more powerful than an atomic or nuclear bomb. It is our unity. Yes. So hundreds and millions of dollars are being spent daily, weekly, yearly to keep you and I divided, to keep those differences and exacerbate those differences so that we would never come together.
Peace.
And so this is a testament of us, that the least common, as they say, what we must unite on is those things: food, clothing, shelter, unity, the love of self, which is the biggest obstacle that we have. It is obviously we've been taught to hate self.
That's right.
Hate the way that God had originated and created us. And if we were taught the knowledge of self, we would know that we are the original people.
Islam. That's right.
We are the mothers and fathers of civilization, not for us to act proud and arrogant. But if we knew that, then maybe that we would have we would look at each other and look at our situation a little bit better.
That's peace. Go ahead, brother.
Now,
with this hand stuff. We started that last episode.
I'm glad you brought up resurrection, because I've been involved with Islam since I was 17. I'm 68 years old now. And the Moors was teaching me, and I would go to the Nation of Islam under Minister Carl X, and I've been traveling that long, so forth and so on, about 50 years. And so as I was maturing, I got in trouble, and I picked up the message to the black man.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite quotation that rides me today, and it still helped me. It says, "Come off the cross and form under one crescent."
Mm-hmm.
Can you expound on it, please?
Right. Well, we recognize that the cross did not come from Jesus. He used a fish because he recognized that the people that he was sent to were lost in the sea of sin.
Mm-hmm.
So, like fishermen, we do not put on the hook what we like. We put on the hook what they like.
Yeah.
And so Jesus was a master fisherman, but it was Constantine who had that vision at night. In that vision, he saw, with this sign, which was the cross, we conquer. And so during the Council of Nice, I believe it was, or when they began to make up a teaching about Jesus and the Son and, the Easter thing or whatnot, when they decided to make all of this up, the cross was involved. But what is the cross about? The Honorable Minister Farrakhan said you have a horizontal and you have a vertical. And being that Satan has been on our planet and God has permitted him to rule for the last 6,000 years, he has brought humanity to a level of that we are living on a horizontal level, which is a dead level. But when this Messiah figure comes, he comes to resurrect the human being and then put the human being on a vertical. But there is that struggle, to overcome the horizontal tendencies, the lusts, the desires, those things that Satan has in terms of teaching us other than ourselves. Now those lusts, those desires, and those things that when we hear this teaching or this truth, we begin to struggle with those desires and overcome them. And then we become a resurrected man and a resurrected woman. And it is our job to go and teach and train the human family of the planet Earth.
That's peace. Go ahead, brother.
On that grafted man,
Mm-hmm.
is that related to Adam in the Bible in the beginning? And can you expound on that grafted man and where that grafted man is now?
Yes, sir. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that his teacher, Master Farrakhan Muhammad, had revealed to him the history of the Caucasian people. In the book of Genesis, you find where here is a God is asking permission to make a man. He says, for God said, let us make man. Well, who is he talking to? Who is the sovereign Lord talking to when he's asking, let us make man and give him power over the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that crawls? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that this is an original brother, original black man that they had saw, or the scientists that you find in the book of Revelations called the 24 elders. And these 24 elders are wise men. Now, Elijah Muhammad said you have 12 major and 12 minor scientists. And these scientists are absolute gods that rule for a particular period of time our planet. And their wisdom is passed down to a son that they produce. Well, here is a original brother that the scientists foresaw that was going to come on our planet, that desired to make a people or wanted to make devil. So God permitted this one. He did not have to allow this one to come about, but he permitted this one and allowed this one to make a man. Let us, who was the man, it had to be those of us that were the original people, because you could not make brown, or you can't make yellow or Caucasian without the original, which is you and I, because in us, we have all of the power to produce all of the colors, and that which we did.
Islam.
And so we grafted from the original a weaker man and gave him power and wisdom to rule. And this is where you find in the book of Genesis about this man Jacob, who wrestled with this angel at night and prevailed. You see, this is referring to Yaqub, or he's called Jacob in the or John, but he's called in Arabic Yaqub. He wrestled with in the nature of the original man.
That's right.
And found in the original man another people. And if he was to take that, grafted from black to white, which is the apex of the germ, and give that man that he teaches wisdom and knowledge of tricks and lies, then he could rule for a period of time. And that is the grafted man. It's so much more into that with that he taught us about that. But that is the making of a new man on our planet. And now he had been given power. His time is up. And it's time for us, the original people, to reunite, because what God desired that we do is to get a thorough knowledge of ourselves. We did not know that it was devil that was sitting up inside the original people. So God desired that we get a knowledge, a thorough knowledge of self. And so we had to be put to sleep to allow this new man to rule, so that we may find out what was in us, the original people that had been giving us trouble for so long. So that's a little bit on the grafted man.
Islam.
Finding knowledge of self is coming from darkness into the marvelous light. So when we come, the Bible says, know that ye are God's children of the Most High God. So when we are resurrected, do we come to that God state?
When we are resurrected, we become what God intended us to be, like him.
Yes, sir.
We're little gods. But see, we have been made the little gods of evil. You see what I'm saying? And injustice, because we've been following a God of evil, like Iblis, Satan. These are different characteristics of the enemy. See, Satan, the minister taught us, is one whose evil is not confined to oneself, but one whose evil spreads and it affects others. And that's what this world, and unfortunately the ruler of this world, has done. His evil not only affects himself, but it affected us. You see,
Yeah.
and this is what made us other than ourselves.
Speak on
The original family fighting and killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
You see, our brothers down in what we call the Native American brothers, who is the brother of the Mexican brother. That's the same people,
Mm-hmm.
and we are brothers of each other.
Islam.
But we are taught because he has straight hair, we got kinky hair, that we are different. You see.
Mm-hmm.
And the only difference is, as we have been taught, is a area code. They got dropped off. Some of the slaves got dropped off in the, what you call, they call it Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
That was colonized by the Spanish.
Yep.
Then the other part was colonized by who? The Haiti was colonized
French.
by French.
France.
So they're two brothers fighting and killing each other. You see,
Yes,
we
Lord.
down here. We are. We were dropped off down there in Jamaica or whatnot, and so we look at each other and we've been fighting and killing each other, not knowing that we are brothers
Islam.
of each other.
That's right.
So all this does the doctrine of discovery and the colonization of us as a people, do that tie into the Crusades? Are we presently in the Crusades?
The Crusades. Wow.
Or is this a modern day version of the Crusades?
Well, you could say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Crusades was a heck of a thing, but yeah, you could say that, brother. I mean, it's when you look at the things of history. I mean, you remember the song, the Humpty Dumpty
Mm-hmm.
sat on the wall. He had a great fall. All the horses. You remember that? Well, that was us.
Mm.
See, we are hidden in nursery rhymes.
And Jack and Jill went up the hill.
And we are hidden and because we were the ones that got hit in the head and buried as they say in the north corner. It was us. We were the Hiram that was hit.
Because the North is the only place that the sun don't shine.
Yeah, and when you look at North America, I mean, goodness sakes, the weather in North America is very swift and changeable. And you look in America, and if you look at it, the original people, if you look at us where we lived near the equator.
Islam.
You know, that's where we resided at. We didn't like North America. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that North America was used as a prison.
Wow.
We use this as a prison to imprison rebellious people.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught us 16,000 years ago, the red man or the Indians were sent here
Islam.
as their rebellion for breaking the law of Islam. And at that time, he said you could walk from that continent here, and they had to walk of their rebellion. And so they came over the Bering Straits.
Yeah.
They came, what you call Canada, came down into what you find North and South Dakota, out in California, down to Central and South America or whatnot. And they've been here for 16,000 years, the red man.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Hold on, brother. I wanted to kind of just touch in. Again, we're delighted and we're welcoming you to the Moorish podcast, Moorish Center. And, you know, just wanted to touch on some things because I've been listening as well. Just delighted to have you here. That's one.
Yes, sir.
We've been into a bond in a relationship as far as like the Nation of Islam and the Moorish Science Temple of America for a long time. I'm thinking about maybe the first thing I can think about is 10 years or maybe plus
Yes.
that we're, you know, that bond time when a brother came from Philadelphia, you had the rostrum up for Islam in America.
Yes, sir.
All the press conferences.
Right, right.
All, you know, and as you said before, anytime we come to Muhammad Mosque number 35 in Wilmington, Delaware, you've always laid out that red carpet for
Yes,
us.
sir.
And so it's only right that, you know, as you know, sharing with us some wisdoms
Yes, sir.
from the teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
it's just a humbling point, especially with so much that's going on now.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to give no drama to that, but there's so much hate between those of ones who, you know, want to continue to show, you know, this unity.
Right.
And
Yes,
that's
sir.
what, you know, that's what this show is about unity. I bear witness that in the city of Wilmington, we've been able to hold that bond.
That's right.
And
brother.
so with a deep love, again, just you sharing some of the information, even what you share with us off camera,
Yes, sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
which maybe probably might get you to read through. But in general, I just wanted to say that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
As far as our unity go, you know, I think, like you were saying, you know, having that information is one step, right? And then again, giving honors to the brother from New York, the next step is to apply this information.
That's right.
You know, as far as like, you know, information, knowing about the grafted man, knowing about, you know, what our ancestors have went through, and knowing about this beautiful jewel that you give about North America.
Yes,
right.
sir.
So this is all wonderful. I just want to tap in because I know we talking and we kind of going, but I just want to say this is beautiful.
So the question I had, and you're mentioning it already, Brother Sharif brought us there as well by saying we got to come off of the cross. I'm just real curious about your thoughts on Islam in America. How can we continue to be used? Like, what's the next step? I mean, one thing I will also say is that it bothers me that people are always saying, well, what has Louis Farrakhan done? Like, what are they doing? I was like, well, I've witnessed plenty of people that have been risen from the dead through the teachings of the Nation of Islam. So just due to teachings alone, there's been plenty of brothers that I've witnessed be raised from the dead.
Closing the gap.
Islam. So what, you know, is there anything new that we should be doing, or anything new that you're doing at the mosque that, you know, through the lens of Islam to continue uplifting our people?
I think what we're doing is still we're in the process of the resurrection of the dead, and we're trying just to become better examples.
Exactly.
And to, as the Bible teaches us, be ye perfect, even as thou art perfect. And so we find that in baseball, there's someone that is able to pitch a perfect game. You know, we find in basketball that there's someone that's able to go 10 for 10 and shooting, and then 5 for 5 at the free throw line. He didn't miss nothing. He was perfect. Well, in our demonstration of obeying God, we can do that perfectly. You see? And so the Muslim is asked 32 times a day, "Oh Allah, guide us on the straight path, your perfect path." You see, guide us, you know, on that path, and we can demonstrate that perfectly through our submission. And I think the more and more that we demonstrate that which we say we believe, we will become more magnetic.
Islam.
And becoming more magnetic, then you're able to accomplish more with the less time when you become more magnetic. Case in point, the minister had taught us the more and more of God's spirit and more unity that we have, we are able to accomplish much in little time. You see, but disunity and discord and dissension produces this long lethargy of unwillingness, you know, to do what needs to be done. And then unfortunately, organizations and this, that, and other fall apart. But the unity of us as a people is becoming more evident, and we are now beginning, whether we want to see it or not, but I see it, that we are uniting on the least common denominator is that we know we all belong to one another, and all of us is catching hell. The enemy is not saying when he stops you and me in a car that you belong to the Moorish American Noble Jew Ali. I'm with Farrakhan, or this one's with the Church of God in Christ. No, it's the skin that we in.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. But if we recognized that we have to come together, and Donald Trump is the means, one of the means by which God is using to make us come together.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the book of Ezekiel, they talked about those dry bones, and they were lost. They gave up hope. And then that the Son of Man told his man that he had among the dry bones, can these bones live? And the Son of Man said, only thou knowest. And he said, well, prophesy unto the winds. See, Trump is a wind.
I'm glad you said that, bro.
Hey,
Because
yeah,
listen,
well,
this is something that I've been saying, and people don't like to hear it because, I on the record, I'm gonna say I voted for Cornel West. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
gonna lie, I
Yes,
voted
sir.
for Dr. Cornel West.
Good choice.
But people were just appalled by that. They're like, well, why not Kamala and this and that? So honestly, I had a feeling Trump was going to win, and I embraced it. I honestly kind of wanted it to happen because us having the open enemy in office, it makes us all understand, makes us all get into go mode,
That's right,
as opposed to being
There you
pacified
go.
by somebody that is a hidden enemy, that's a fake friend.
That's
So it's like, please give me the person I know and I can understand their moves.
Right.
I want to know their moves. And in my house, I get flack for it. I watch Fox News often because I like to be a fly on the wall of the enemy.
That's right.
I want to know what they're
That's
talking
right.
about.
That's exactly.
This doesn't mean I like what I hear or I subscribe to what I just want to hear what they're talking about.
Right.
And having Trump there gives us the opportunity to just see on full display what's really happening.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I value that, and it makes us be more united and more strong amongst each other.
Islam.
I like when the minister was speaking on the dry bones one Sunday morning. He said, stirring up the winds of strife. We have to stir up the winds of strife and breathe on each other wisdom, knowledge, and understand to resurrect the dead.
Islam. I wanted to kind of touch in as well, just kind of backing off what the minister's speaking about and still keeping on the topic of unity. Like he was speaking about the current events that we have today. Like the Prophet Noble Ali tells us as well that in unity there's strength,
That's right.
and in division, of course, there's a downfall. So, just what he's saying is echoing to what we learn. We learn in the Moorish Science Temple of America about being economically sound, about standing up for your brother and your sister when they're in adversity. These are the uniting of Asia, which is
That's
my
right.
brothers and my sisters.
Yes, sir.
And so, just what you were speaking on with current events, I had a kind of question as well. We see what's going on with our brothers and sisters in the motherland, Africa, particularly the brother Ibrahim
Correct.
Toure, who's showing a degree of unity for the African.
That's right.
Just if you can kind of share some points about that and what can we kind of like take away from that. Again, I think me and the brother were speaking a little bit offline. Yeah, of course, it's not. I'm not necessarily sure if the brother professes to Islam.
Right.
However, just using that example of what we see today in this new era time now, what can you think we can take away from that, or what do you think should be coming along soon for us here in America?
I definitely want to congratulate our brother Traore is from Burkina Faso, our brother.
Islam.
That brother and those young leaders that are coming up in Africa, that's the type of leadership that we need, that is not afraid of the enemy. I know you all remember the Berlin Conference, and wherein the European countries
Leopold, right?
came that they decided how they were going to carve up Africa. Now, but they had always knew that a time would come that one would rise like this messianic figure that would unite and galvanize all of us. And so the work that you all have been doing, doesn't go unnoticed. The work that the minister has done, the work that our organizations have done, it has given birth to leadership in Africa that now they don't desire the cloak and the yoke of our former slave masters now. And so here our brother in Burkina Faso, whom we have been following and putting him on the front page of the Final Call newspaper. And I really appreciate what his right-hand man, or those that were securing him, told, that the French government desired to pay him, I think it was either $5 or $10 million to kill him, and he turned and he told. And so what we need today is men and women of integrity,
Islam,
that is not willing to sell their people out for some trinkets, because we've recognized what has happened when we've done that. We've set our people back, unfortunately, when we do that, you see. And so what is happening on that continent, brother, is amazing, because it's our time. God is with us. And I wanna go back to God is active will was Donald Trump. God has an active and a permissive will. He actively put this man in office because they knew what he would do. And if you look at it, the minister said, you look at the CIA, FBI, the IRS, all of these entities gave us trouble. The IRS, oh my God. But see, Trump, he wants to destroy that. He wants to get rid of the IRS. He's fighting the FBI and the CIA. Why? Because when he was under indictment, they looked into his background and see, God, knowing Trump and knowing the nature of them, he wasn't going to let that go. So he's destroying the institutions that gave us hell. See how God is using him? He's destroying the CIA, the FBI, the IRS, those institutions that have given us trouble and have raped the American people when it comes to taxes, deceiving the American people. So the way that God is using Trump is something. And because we are being made uncomfortable, here we are, our people in North America gross over $1 trillion and something, that makes us the 9th richest nation on the planet, I think, either the 8th or the 10th richest. I'm talking about just our people in North America.
The nation within a nation.
That's right. But our dollar don't go around but 6 hours in our community. But in Jewish communities and Korean communities, it's 25 to 30 days for their money to go around in their neighborhoods and amongst them before it goes out. Something's wrong with that picture. And again, the ultimate aim of this world is to never to allow us to unite. And when did we allow somebody else to cook us chicken? Ain't we the master for that? But now we got to go to this chicken place, that chicken place. See?
Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's crazy.
Right. These chicken places, and the Koreans or the Asians are in our community that don't spend in our community, take the money out and leave us destitute.
Yep.
And that is why the love of self and the uniting of self and the knowledge of self is the most important knowledge that we can have. Because if we had that, then we would not allow other people in our community. We couldn't go. You couldn't go and set up in white folks' community, brother. If you wanted to sell something in their community, you couldn't do that. And that's right. They shouldn't allow you to. They should not allow you, and neither should we. There should be negotiations. Let us have trade and commerce among us in our community. When people come in our community, okay, what you want? Come on, let's make a deal. See? But because of the enemy's desires to keep us disunited, this one is an enemy, this one don't like you, and then they send in people that they control to keep us fighting and killing one another. See? So, I mean, but yes, I'm sorry for the rant, brothers.
No,
but,
it's just
Donald
quite
That's
all
what you're
right.
here for, Mo. That's what we're here
President
for.
Trump is being used by God to bring us together.
Yeah, that wasn't a rant, brother. That was truth.
Yes, sir.
You know what
Yes,
we like
sir.
to call holy breath.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, like they say, truth doesn't need a witness.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Truth don't need a witness. Only
Holy
support.
Quran says every time truth makes falsehood, it smashes his brains out.
That's right.
No, excuse me, I said it wrong. Truth doesn't need a support, only a witness. And so, definitely, I bear witness. So it kind of segments this question I had, at least on my question. And if any of you other brothers want to add on to the question, that's fine. Last time we visited Muhammad Mosque number 35, you were speaking about an initiative about Palestine. If you can, I know it would have been some time ago, but I think you were speaking about a lawsuit that was happening. Just trying to get some updates and kind of, upgrade to the people as we upgrade it. We want to get that information out to the people. If you can kind of, if you're familiar with what I'm speaking
Yes, sir.
on, if you can kind of go into that and kind of give us some updates from the last time we gave on that.
Yes, sir. The at that particular time, the Nation of Islam, the minister desired to sue. If I use those words, the Jewish, it was what was the Jewish the Jewish organizations, the ADL.
There you go. Yeah, ADL.
And it was another group that was involved in that, and the minister desired to put a lawsuit on them and bring them up on charges of defamation for the last 30, 40 years of their wickedness when it came to the disinformation campaign on the Nation of Islam. And so we wanted to take them to court. And the enemy did throw it out. And the minister told us just to be patient right now. And that's what we're doing. And when he desires to proceed with that, then we'll go ahead and proceed. But yes, it was a lawsuit that we had put on the ADL and really the gods of this world, which is the Jewish people. Like the Bible talks about, they are really the gods of their world. And the Honorable Minister Farrakhan taught us of the gods of the world, and it's in the book of Revelations about this synagogue of Satan. And the synagogue of Satan, the minister taught us, see, Musa or Moses he was a half original man. He had a Caucasian mother and a black father, and his job was to for the Caucasian making trouble among us after they were made. They had come back to what was called the Holy Land. And so after they were made on the island of Pelon, and that's in the book of Revelations, they came back to the motherland, which the original people were, and they started making trouble. And within 6 months, they had Mecca upside down, inside out. And so we rounded up all that we could find, and we sent them to what was called West Asia, and we renamed it Europe. EU means hillsides, and rope is the rope to bind in, and they stayed there for 2,000 years. Musa was sent to them, and he had because they had lost the knowledge of self, not lost and living the life of a beast. God sent them Musa. And what Musa had to teach them was the forgotten technology that they had learned under their father Yaqub, because they had lost all of that during their 2,000-year stay. And the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said they were given 2 books in the hills and cave sides of Europe. They were given what was called the Torah, and they were given what was called a book of tricks. And the book of tricks comes up out of what they use today called the Babylonian Talmud. That when you read that book, all of the tricks and all of that wickedness that Musa had given them, he gave them a book of tricks. So the rulers and the gods of this world are what they call the Jews, and they are the most disciplined. They are, when you look at all of the disciplines that are in America, at the top of it, they're Jews, because they run their world. When you look at ABC, all of the news agencies, the top ones are Jewish men. You look at the Supreme Court, that you have 3 Jews on the Supreme Court. See, they are the gods, and they are the Satan, and they manipulate their brothers, the Gentiles, which is the Caucasian. The Gentiles represent white people in general, but they manipulate them, and knowing how they were made, they manipulate them to do evil. See, the devil is one that has been taught devilishment, and that's what they have been taught, devilishment.
Ain't the Gentiles also jinn?
Jinn?
Yeah, Gentile jinn.
Well, you could say that. Yes, sir. But okay, so so when you look at them, they were given 2 books, and those 2 books that they were given, this is what makes them the rulers of their world, and this is what makes them the gods of their world. They rule with tricks and lies, but that time has come, and we're at the end of that, because now truth is here. We're here. You see? And so with the truth that we have, it is destroying the lies, but what their aim is that they got to continue to use falsehood and deceit to keep us from doing what we know that what must be done, but that ain't working. That ain't working today.
I'll tell you what, this past Savior's Day,
Yes, sir.
man, we've seen some videos of just, I'm not sure, it might have been Atlanta, I'm not sure, but it was a video of a whole bunch of fruit of Islam brothers and just a big, delegation of Asiatics that look beautiful. And it just makes me feel like there's a rising of Islam in America, especially amongst the Asiatics. And it touches me. It touches my soul. I mean, I can see that like you said, the end is near for Shaitan. The end is near for this evil embellishment, and Islam is bringing a lot of people out of that. What programs? I wanted to make sure we touched on some events coming up at Muhammad Mosque number 35. One was the Young Father Summit. That's with Gang going after the next generation. That's Brother John Muhammad's organization.
Yes,
that's
sir.
more so for young fathers. That's Islamic based teachings and helping young fathers, be righteous fathers, because
Yes, sir.
there's too many fathers that unfortunately are stepping away from the responsibilities, which leads to the issues we have in our community. But what other, that's let me make sure it's out there. Thursday, June 12th.
Yes,
Thursday,
sir.
June 12th, 6 p.m. Muhammad Mosque number 35. So please, show up for that. Anything else that's going on at Muhammad Mosque number 35, and what days are normal that people can come and get some knowledge?
Yes, sir. Well, this we meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. This Sunday's lecture will be on Satan, the devil, the dragon, and we're going into the different characteristics of the dragon,
Love that.
Satan, that old serpent,
That's right.
and the devil. And so we'll be dealing with that this Sunday at 11. Those of you that are in the listening audience, if you come on by.
What's that address?
2800 Washington Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 11 a.m. Monday night, it's men's night. It's just for the men that belong to Islam in North America. We meet.
Okay.
And where we teach men train men, develop men, boys from the age of 16 to 100,
Yeah.
that are involved in that class. Wednesday night, those of us that are in the Minister Farrakhan's ministry, we, one of the brothers that are in the ministry class speaks on Wednesday night at 7:30. Friday night, we deal with self-improvement study classes. They're called study courses, study guides that heal the different diseases and those things that are ailing us, because we have to be resurrected internally.
Mm-hmm.
So the study guides like overcoming difficulty, struggle for balance, rising above emotion into the thinking of God, the characteristics of humility, our intimate relationship with Rabbil Alameen, the will of God, and those study guides, closing the gap. We study on Friday night, and then Saturday is just for the women. The women and just women only on Saturdays from 9 to 12. But in June 21st, we are having a presentation at the Inn Theater, downtown Wilmington. We have a brother from Minister Farrakhan's research team who has devoted his life in the nation dealing with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings on the mother plane.
Mm-hmm. The wheel
and the wheels and this UFO phenomenon. There is an installment, part 3. He will be here, and the movie will be shown. It's approximately 2 hours of the revelation that Master Farrakhan Muhammad had given the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on this mother plane that the enemy calls unidentified flying objects that we know all about. And we'll be presenting that to our people here in Wilmington, 4:00, June 21st at the Inn Theater, downtown Wilmington. Tickets are $30. You can get it on eBrite. The website, the tickets will be available this Sunday, starting Sunday. But that is a big event that we have. We're asking our people and our good meaning people that would like to know more about the truth of this UFO phenomenon. They're not people from outer space. They look like you and I.
I know the aliens.
Right.
The aliens.
So that will be June 21st. That's going to be a big event. Come June 21st. So we have the 12th and June 21st of the events that we have coming up.
Hey, shout out to Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He's the one that really got me really heavy on that knowledge of understanding more fully what that really represents.
Yes, sir.
So,
my man. Dr. Wesley. Oh man. Yes, sir. We've had him here.
Yes, sir. I've been witness.
Yeah.
We got to talk. We got to get him here.
We got to get him back. Huh? Yeah, my man, Dr. West. Yes, sir. Yes,
Islam. All right. So, anything else? Any questions you have, Brother Sharif, or anything on your mind?
I'm just going to recite the surah and yield the floor. Glorify the name of your garden, Lord Most High, who has created, further given order and proportion, who has ordained laws and granted guidance, who bring forth lustrous green pastures and make them swarthy and supple. By stages and degrees shall we teach you to declare this message so that thou will not forget. We know what is hidden and what is revealed. We shall teach you the path that is simple. Therefore, give admonition in case of admonition, prophets to hear. Those who fear Allah will receive admonition, but it will be avoided by those most unfortunate ones who will enter the great fire. In it they will neither live nor die, but those who will prosper, who adore the name of their God, Lord, uplift their hearts in prayer. Now you prepare to like this world, but the hereafter is more enduring. Let not the evil one cause you to slip, as he caused your parents to slip in the garden. Let not him take off your garments of righteousness, for he swore that to you that he was your seer advisor. But to you, he's an open enemy. For him, his tribe sit in a position where you cannot see him. Then did Satan cause them to slip from the state of mind that they were in. The Garden of Eden. We got to guard the mind, guard your heart. Because never does allow change the conditions of a people till the people change within the heart, and we can change America. Islam.
That's right.
Islam. Grand Governor?
Well, again, just again, thankful for our guests
Yes, sir.
join us here. Just like Brother Sharif was have a recitation of, we're going to teach you by degrees. So, the minister gave out the information about where to go if you can get your, as we said last week, get your brainwashed. Of course, those on the Moorish philosophy, your brothers here at 715 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, right across the street from the DoubleTree Hotel. We're here. It's just find a place. The uniting of Asia is what you see.
That's right.
Presently. This is our brothers and sisters. If I can get a hand press, this is a hand press of unity right here.
That's right.
Islam.
That's
So
right.
this is a long time coming. It didn't come overnight.
That's right.
And we're going to continue as long as I have from breath, and I know the minister, as long as he has breath,
That's
we stand behind the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, his representative here in Wilmington, Delaware. We stand behind them. We will always stand behind them because they're about truth and rights. And so, again, thank you so much for coming.
Yes, sir.
We got to have you back. Of course, there's so many guests that we have to bring back
That's
because
right. Yes, sir.
it's so many topics that we have not touched.
Not enough time. It's like we could easily sit here and go on and on and on. It's not hard at all, but
Yes, sir.
I don't want to be respectful of your time. Obviously, we all have things to do as well.
Yes,
So that's why, part two,
Yes, sir.
you'll be back, I'm sure. Maybe we'll go to the Muhammad's Mosque number 35. We
Yes,
definitely want to start taking this show on the road.
Yes,
It's not too much to pack this up and bring us somewhere else and, get a different setting
Yes,
and,
sir.
get into a different energy, get into a different building. Cause I know it's going to, invoke different conversations.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Brothers, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Thank you.
Keep on, brothers, pushing. And when something comes up, let us know. We will let you all know. And our people need to see us,
Yes, sir.
together and unity. There's no big I and little you among us.
Yes.
And that is what we have to push is unity.
Yes.
right.
And when the enemy comes before us to us, to try to cause dissension, I'm gonna call you up and I'm gonna tell you that such and so came to me
Yep.
and told me and was talking about you all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I call them out.
Yep.
And-
Likewise,
Yeah,
minister.
Yep, of course.
Likewise.
But yes, so I thank you all. You all
Thank
keep
you.
up the great
Thank you.
work.
Yeah.
I've when brother told me that you all had your podcast, I would not the whole meeting, but I would sit there and I would listen to you all, man.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
articulate you all are and how you all are so knowledgeable about what you all are talking about.
Yes,
So I
ma'am.
really admire that, brother.
Grateful.
Y'all keep up the
Thank you.
great work.
Shukran.
Islam. Thank you. So on that note, we'll wrap it up. You gave your final thoughts. Everybody gave their final thoughts. So at this point,
What's your final thought, Mo?
My final thought?
We don't get too much from the host.
I don't. I just
You
host.
probably
I
won't see the
I just
governor for a
wanna-
while.
I just want to hear. I'm a sponge, and I'm
Yeah.
a student. I'm surprised. I thought I was older than you, Mo, and I just learned. I learned a couple months ago that you're actually older than me, I believe. But as a youngest, I'm just a sponge. I'm here to listen. I'm here to be a student. I'm very humble in that nature. I don't like to act like I know anything. I like to act like I don't know nothing, and just listen.
Yes.
So I'm in the presence of very knowledgeable brothers. This brother right here is one of the main reasons that brings me, to the temple, because just being around him, I soak up so much.
That's right.
So I'm gonna make my way around to Muhammad Mosque number 35 because
Yes,
I already
sir.
know there's great lights there. I've talked to Brother John Muhammad plenty of times offline.
Yes, sir.
The different knowledge, the different things he brought to my attention has been powerful.
Yes. sir.
So yeah, I'm a student of life.
Yes.
I'm a student of life, and I also visit Universal Street Academy, Nation of Gods and Earths up in Philadelphia.
Oh yes.
So I
Peace
build
to the gods.
peace to the gods and earths. Most definitely, I learned a lot from them as well. I'm a student of life,
That's right.
and I'm a sponge. I don't really have too much to say besides I'm just listening.
Yes.
My,
sir.
everybody knows my degree, and that's health. I make sure everybody, we got the teas here, so
Yes, sir.
come get your teas.
Shout out to the minister. Had some tea, some of that holy breath.
Come
Yeah,
get some tea.
how did I taste?
No, I haven't had any.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna make
tonight.
sure the minister gets
Yes,
some.
sir.
But yeah,
Come get your teas, and that's it. Come to 715 North King Street or 2800 Washington Street, Wilmington, Delaware, and come get come get the knowledge, come get the light, and come resurrect yourself. Islam. I'm gonna yield on the floor.
Is there no balm in Gilead? There's a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. There's a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. I thank Allah for bringing the minister here to bring all that light to us, shedding that light, and about our 400-year open enemy. Like Jesus said, he said, if you was of Abraham's seed, you do Abraham's work.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you are up your father the devil, you're a liar, thief, and a murderer from the beginning. You're the father of liars. That's what these people do.
Mm-hmm.
Our Lord, lay down on us a burden as it did lay upon those who were before us. Lay down on us a burden that we have not the strength to bear. Forgive us our sins, pour down on us spirit of steadfast religion, make firm our feet, grant us thy protection against those who reject faith. I mean.
and with that, it's a wrap.
Islam.
It's a-